Handling children in a euthanasia appointment is a very delicate topic for sure. And I always start off the conversation with clients by saying, your mom, your dad, you know what's best for your child, and let me give you a little bit of tips. So the first thing is understanding the age of the child. So children between the age of 0 and about 5, they tend to be more in tune with mom and dad's emotions than they are their own emotions. They're learning how to have emotions at that age. So that's the age where I do suggest to parents that if it's possible, let's maybe have the child not be at the euthanasia appointment. That allows the child to be a little bit more secluded from mom and dad's emotions at that moment, at that delicate time, and also for mom and dad to have their very authentic and very healthy emotions without worrying about how their younger child is interpreting them. Now, children about 5 or 6 years of age and older, my general statement is ask them. Ask them if they want to be present. Mom and dad will know if there's any reason for them not to be present and emotional issues, but otherwise, for the vast majority of children, they're able to make that decision whether or not they want to be there or not. Now, an important component of that is understanding that children will grieve in doses. So they'll come into the room or into the exam room or even into the living room, that's where we are, and they'll be with us and they'll cry, and then they'll go back and play with their Barbie dolls. And then they'll come back 5 minutes later and they'll come in and they'll cry and they'll ask questions and they'll go back in the Barbie dolls. But children want to know that everything's going to be okay. And they also want to see a very good example about how to grieve appropriately. So when mom and dad can have that space and when they can grieve in a healthy way, that's one of the best examples that we can give children about the value of family, the value of the bond that we have with our pets, and the value of having those emotions and not just bottling them up, so that we can teach them how to get through those emotions in the future. Now, a very important point of this is teenagers. So teenagers can actually be one of the more difficult age ranges for us to deal with because they have this altruistic view of society. They want to kind of fight through what's happening, and that's okay. That's an evolutionary fact, and that's completely okay. I try my very best to talk with that teenager directly so that mom and dad don't necessarily have to get into it, because you can see mom and dad get very defensive sometimes, particularly when they're already grieving. So with teenagers, you need to be very direct and say, I understand that you feel like we're giving up. I get that. But let's talk about what we can do and what we can't do. We can't continue to go back to the emergency room. We can't continue to risk there being a difficult passing. But what we can do is provide the most peaceful euthanasia that we can possibly do, and that's what I'm here for.